The area of a rectangular flyer advertising the Osceola Math Fair is 25 inches squared. The length of the flyer is 3 inches more than the width. What are the length and width of the flyer? So let's make a sketch of a rectangular flyer, and we know that the width we don't know, so we'll let that be W, and the length is 3 inches more than the width, so the length can be W plus 3. And so it says that the area of this flyer is 25 inches squared. And we know that the area of a rectangle is length times width. So we're going to set up our equation and say that 25 equals the length, which is W plus 3, times the width, which is W. So we're going to distribute this multiplication, and we have 25 equals W squared plus 3W. Now, in order to solve this equation, this quadratic equation, we need to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 25 on both sides, and so I'll have W squared plus 3W minus 25 equals 0. Now this trinomial is not factorable, so we're going to have to use the quadratic formula. So let's identify our A, B, and C. So A equals 1, B equals 3, and C equals negative 25. So we're going to plug these values into the quadratic formula. So we're going to have negative B, which is 3, plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 1, which is A, times negative 25, which is C, all divided by 2 times A, which is 1. So now we're going to evaluate this. So we have negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared is 9, and then negative 4 times 1 times negative 25 is positive 100. And so we're going to divide that by 2 times 1, which is 2. So we have negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 109 divided by 2. Now we're going to have two different answers, and we can put this into the calculator, but we'll put them in separately. So x equals negative 3 plus the square root of 109. You can put that in the calculator, get an answer, and then divide it by 2. And that's going to give us approximately 3.7. And then we can do negative 3 minus the square root of 109 into the calculator, get an answer, and then divide that by 2. And then that'll give us approximately negative 6.7. Now, what are we talking about? We're talking about the dimensions of a rectangular shape. So we cannot have a negative measurement. So we actually want to ignore and not use the negative value. I'm going to focus on x equaling 3.7. So in this case, x is the same thing as w. Okay? So w equals 3.7. So that's the width, and the length is 3 more than that. So that's going to be 3.7 plus 3, which would be 6.7. And we know that we're talking about inches, so that's going to be 3.7 inches and 6.7 inches.